Would you wear the same shoes for every occasion? Or rock the same outfit 7 days a week? Of course not. Your style is better with options. Your investments could be too. SIBO Index options give you access to various contract sizes, global trading hours, and potential tax advantages. That's a good look for any portfolio. If you're ready to invest in style, head to betterwithoptions.com. There are risks associated with SIBO company products. Review the disclosures and disclaimers at SIBO.com/US_disclaimers.
With new McValue at McDonald's, you always get more than you expect every day. So even if gas prices go up, you can buy a double cheeseburger and add a McChicken for $1. Or before game time, you can get $5 meal deals for the group. And if breakfast is about to end, get deals in the app to save before the bell. The choice is yours, and the choice with McValue is always more.
Prices and participation may vary. Valid for item of equal or lesser value. Must opt into rewards for app deals.
Welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be looking at how to really get ahead of the game so you can totally rock the job market. In 2025 and beyond, we've got this awesome career coach guide, and it's seriously packed with data-backed insights on exactly what employers want. And the cool thing is, it's not just the usual generic advice. It gets down to specifics like hard skills, think AI and cloud computing, but also some super interesting soft skills that you might not expect.
Yeah. What's really fascinating here is that it's not just a little shift in the job market. It's like a total transformation.
Oh.
And a lot of it is driven by how fast technology is changing, but also, and this is key, what employers are looking for is evolving.
So no more just coasting on what we already know.
Right.
This guide dives right into the AI revolution. And honestly, I was floored to see a 75% increase in AI-related jobs.
Yeah.
This isn't just a fad. It's here. And it's completely changing how we work. But what really surprised me was that AI isn't just impacting those typical engineer roles.
Definitely not. We're seeing this huge demand for positions like training dataset consultant or even generative AI consultant. And these roles are all about understanding the brains of AI systems, how they learn, and how to get them to perform at their best. Almost like teaching a machine to think.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. So even if you're not a tech person, this guide is saying that understanding AI is becoming essential in every industry. Think about it. How could AI change things in your field? Could it automate some of your tasks, help you analyze data to find those hidden insights, or even personalize customer experiences?
Exactly. Great examples. And that actually leads us to data analysis, which is another hot topic in the guide. It's not even enough to just have access to data anymore. It's all about what you do with it. Extracting meaning, spotting trends, using insights to make better decisions. That's where the power lies. We're seeing a 39% jump in demand for these skills.
And what's interesting is that even with all these cool new AI tools coming out, good old Excel is still super important. The guide even mentions how huge companies like Spotify, Amazon, and Starbucks are all using data analysis for strategic decisions. It's not just theory. This is happening in the real world.
Oh, for sure. Those companies are really at the forefront. Take Spotify, for example. They're using data to personalize music recommendations for millions of users, creating these unique listening experiences that keeps people engaged. That's data analysis in action, driving actual business success.
It really makes you wonder, are you ready to use the power of data in your own work? Whether you're in marketing, finance, healthcare, seriously, A&Y field, data analysis skills can be a game changer.
Absolutely. And speaking of getting things done, the guide shows this surprising 46% increase in demand for another crucial skill, project management.
Which makes sense because, let's be real, everything is a project these days. Leading teams, launching new products, even just managing your own workload. Project management skills are gold. It's all about getting things done efficiently and effectively. I know I could definitely improve my project management skills.
For sure. It's not just checking things off a list. It's about being adaptable, organized, ready to handle whatever comes your way. Think about a time when you felt overwhelmed by a project or a task. Could better project management skills have helped?
I think we've all been there, that feeling of being totally overwhelmed. Okay, let's switch gears to another hot topic, cloud computing. We hear those words all the time, but what does it really mean for your career?
Well, the guide throws out this crazy stat. The global cloud market is predicted to hit $1.6 trillion by 2030. That's huge. And it all comes down to this. Businesses are becoming more and more reliant on the cloud for everything. Storing data, managing information, processing it all. It's all moving to the cloud.
So, cloud skills are in demand because
It's all about scalability, security, and handling those massive amounts of data we're creating every day. And it's not just this abstract concept. We're talking about specific platforms like AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure. Those are the names to know.
Right, and they all have their own strengths and features. Like AWS is known for its massive scale and all the services it offers. Google Cloud is great for data analytics and machine learning, and Azure has strong ties to Microsoft products, so it's popular with businesses that already use those.
So even having a basic understanding of these platforms and how they work can open doors to a ton of exciting, and let's be honest, lucrative career paths.
Totally. And we've talked about the hard skills shaping the future, but the guide also dives into something equally important, soft skills. These are those human-centric skills that are becoming even more valuable in this increasingly automated world.
Yeah. And there's a stat that really highlights this shift. Deloitte predicts that 2/3 of all jobs by 2030 will be soft skill intensive. It's a huge shift. It's not enough to just be technically skilled anymore. You need to be able to collaborate, communicate, and lead effectively.
Exactly. It's about being well-rounded, someone who can not only work with technology, but also connect with people, understand their needs, and build strong relationships. Those skills are essential in any workplace, no matter the industry.
Absolutely. And the guide gets into some less obvious soft skills that are in high demand too, like attention to detail, which is a whopping 59% increase in demand. This tells me that employers are looking for people who are reliable, organized, and produce top-notch work.
Definitely. It's about going beyond just doing the bare minimum, showing employers that you're committed to excellence, that you care about the details, being someone they can trust to get the job done right every single time.
So we've covered some of the key hard and soft skills shaping the future of work. But before we move on, I'm curious what's standing out to you so far.
I think the key takeaway here is that the future really belongs to those who are adaptable, curious, and committed to lifelong learning. These skills aren't just a checklist. They're a foundation for a future-proof career.
I love that. It's not just about what you know today. It's about your willingness to learn and grow as the world changes around you. And speaking of growth, there's one more skill category we need to discuss, and that's marketing. Even if you're not in a marketing role, this one is super relevant.
Absolutely. You're right. The guide actually shows a 29% rise in demand for marketing skills. And it's not just about catchy slogans or flashy ads. It's more about understanding your audience, crafting compelling stories, and ultimately being able to persuade and influence others.
It's like you're always marketing yourself in a way. Whether you're applying for a job, pitching an idea, or even just networking, you're essentially selling your skills and your vision.
Exactly. And here's the thing that might surprise you. The guide kind of debunks that myth, that marketing is only for creative types. It's becoming way more data-driven, requiring analytical thinking and a deep understanding of how to measure results.
So it's this interesting blend of creativity and analytics, but for those of us who aren't in marketing roles, how can we start building those marketing muscles?
Well, a simple first step is just to start paying attention to the marketing you see every day. What makes certain ads or campaigns stand out to you? What makes you want to learn more or take action? Analyzing those successful campaigns can give you some great insights.
That's a really good point. I also think it's important to remember that marketing is all about storytelling. What's your unique story? What are your strengths and passions? How can you communicate those in a way that connects with people?
Absolutely. And don't forget about social media. It's a fantastic platform for showcasing your skills, connecting with others in your field, and building your online presence. Think of it as a way to control your own narrative, showcasing your expertise to the world.
That makes sense. Now let's dive into some specific soft skills that are in high demand, starting with collaboration. The guide emphasizes this as crucial. With a 58% increase in demand. Again, it makes sense since most work these days involves teams.
Yeah, it's not just about getting along with your teammates, though. It's about being able to use each other's strengths, resolve conflicts in a positive way, and achieve more together than you could on your own. Employers want people who can effectively contribute to a shared goal.
And the guide actually gives some practical tips for developing those collaboration skills. Participating in group projects, volunteering, even joining a sports team can help you hone those skills.
Those are great examples of real-world collaboration. And those experiences can really make you stand out when you're applying for jobs.
Okay, now let's talk about another soft skill that I think sometimes gets overlooked, interpersonal skills. The guide shows a 17% increase in demand for these skills, which include effective communication, active listening, and building strong relationships.
This one's really important because it's about connecting with people on a deeper level, understanding their perspectives, building trust and rapport. Those skills are essential in a workplace, no matter what industry you're in.
It's about fostering genuine connections and creating a positive and productive work environment.
Right. And the guide points out that you can develop these interpersonal skills through all sorts of experiences, like customer service, retail sales, even teaching or tutoring.
So if you're looking to boost those interpersonal skills, think about opportunities where you can interact with people from diverse backgrounds and practice your communication and relationship building skills.
Now let's shift gears to leadership skills. While the guide only shows a 7% increase in demand for these, it emphasizes that leadership is about more than just having a fancy title.
It's about taking initiative, inspiring others, and driving positive change. Regardless of your position within an organization, those are qualities that employers really value.
The guide suggests that you can gain leadership experience through a variety of activities, like project management volunteering, or even leading a team in a sports or extracurricular activity.
I love that. It's about seeking out opportunities to step up, take on responsibility, and demonstrate your ability to motivate and guide others. Now let's talk about another crucial soft skill, analytical skills.
Right. The guide highlights a 41% increase in demand for analytical skills, which are all about interpreting data, identifying patterns, and making informed decisions. And as we discussed earlier, data is king in today's world.
For sure, analytical skills are in high demand across so many industries, from finance and healthcare to marketing and technology.
So how can you get better at analytical thinking? The guide suggests things like engaging in research projects, tackling complex problems, practicing your data interpretation skills. It's about training your brain to see connections and draw meaningful conclusions from the information you have.
And don't be afraid to ask why. That's really at the heart of analytical thinking. Now let's wrap up our discussion of soft skills with one that's often overlooked, but incredibly important: attention to detail. The guide shows a 59% increase in demand for this skill.
It's all about being meticulous, organized and thorough in your work, showing employers that you're reliable, you care about quality, you're someone they can trust to get the job done right, down to the smallest detail.
The guide offers some practical tips for improving your attention to detail. Limiting distractions, avoiding multitasking, even something as simple as making lists and double-checking your work can make a huge difference.
It might sound basic, but those little things can really add up and enhance your reputation as a reliable and detail-oriented professional.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, both hard skills and soft skills. As we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I'm curious, what's resonating with you?
I think the key takeaway is that the future of work is about more than just having a specific set of skills. It's about having the right mindset, the ability to adapt and learn continuously, being agile, resourceful, and always willing to embrace new challenges.
That's a powerful message. It's not just about what you know today. It's about your willingness to grow and evolve as the world changes around you. And speaking of change, there's one more crucial aspect of future-proofing your career that we need to discuss. We've talked about the hard skills and the soft skills and this whole idea of being adaptable. So what's this crucial aspect we need to explore?
Well, it's about connecting all these skills and knowledge to specific industries and career paths, It's one thing to know what skills are in demand, but it's another to understand how those skills actually translate into real-world jobs.
So bridging the gap between theory and practice.
Exactly. Like, let's take the finance industry, for example. With the rise of fintech, there's a huge demand for professionals who can not only handle the numbers, but also understand things like blockchain technology, cybersecurity, and data analytics. It's a whole new game.
So it's not just your typical financial analyst anymore. It's someone who's also tech-savvy.
Right.
And can navigate this rapidly changing world.
Exactly. And then you have healthcare, which is going through a similar transformation, with AI being used more and more in diagnostics, personalized medicine, and telehealth. There's a growing need for healthcare professionals who are comfortable with technology data analysis and even have strong communication skills to build trust with patients in a virtual setting.
It's amazing how, even in a field like healthcare, which we traditionally see as very human-centric technology, is playing a bigger role. And requiring a whole new skill set.
Oh, absolutely. And we can't forget about the tech industry itself, which is constantly evolving. The demand for software developers, cybersecurity experts, and cloud computing specialists is just skyrocketing. But here's the thing. It's not just about coding anymore. It's also about problem-solving collaboration and the ability to adapt to new technologies as they come out.
So it seems like no matter what industry you look at, there's this common thread of adaptability, continuous learning. And this fusion of technical and soft skills.
That's exactly it. The future of work belongs to those who are versatile, curious, and always willing to learn and grow.
I love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to go back to something you said earlier.
Yeah.
You mentioned that the future belongs to those who are curious and adaptable. What advice would you give to someone who's maybe feeling a little overwhelmed by all these changes and not sure where to start?
I'd say start by figuring out what you're passionate about, what gets you excited, what problems do you want to solve. Once you have that sense of direction, start exploring the skills and knowledge that align with your goals. There are so many resources out there, online courses, industry blogs, podcasts.
This career coach guide we've been talking about is a perfect example. It's full of practical advice and resources.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to experiment. Take some online courses, attend webinars, connect with people in your field. The key is to be proactive and take charge of your own career development. The future is yours to shape.
That's a really empowering message. So knowing what you know now, what one skill would you focus on developing in the next year to make yourself stand out to employers in 2025?
That's a great question to think about. And remember, it's not just about learning the skill. It's about understanding how to use it to create value and solve real-world problems. That's what will really set you apart in the job market of tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the future of work. We've covered so much, from AI and cloud computing to the importance of soft skills and adaptability. But the main takeaway here is that you have the power to shape your own career path.
By embracing continuous learning, being open to new experiences, and focusing on building a versatile skill set, you can not only navigate the changes ahead, but thrive in this exciting and ever-evolving world of work. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.